Most people think financial peace comes from picking the right investments, the right stock, the right fund, the right market timing. But after doing this for decades through crashes, booms, wars, elections, pandemics, I can tell you something most people don't want to hear. Financial peace has very little to do with markets. It has everything to do with behavior. And if you get that wrong, no portfolio in the world will save you. And I've sat across the table from hundreds of families. Some had modest incomes and slept like babies. Others had 7 figures and lived in constant anxiety. Same market, same economy, very different outcomes. Why? Because money exposes what's already there. Fear shows up as overtrading. Pride shows up as leverage. Impatience shows up as chasing returns. Uncertainty shows up as paralysis. And markets don't create those problems. They reveal them. And scripture actually talks about this. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. Notice it doesn't say where your returns are. It says where your heart is. Money is rarely the issue. It's trust. Trust in markets, trust in ourselves, trust in God, or lack of it. And that's why two people can have the same portfolio and experience it completely differently. Let me give you 3 behavior traps I see constantly, especially with smart, successful people. Trap number 1, confusing activity with progress. Checking accounts daily, watching headlines hourly, and tweaking portfolios constantly. Movement feels like productivity, but often it's just noise. Stillness is underrated. Trap number 2, taking more risk than necessary. And this is a big one. Many people are already on track, sometimes 95 to 99% probability of success, but they keep swinging harder. Why? Because slowing down feels like losing. But in reality, peace lives in sufficiency, not excess. And trap number 3, outsourcing responsibility, either to the market or to an advisor or to a spreadsheet, a lot of spreadsheets. And a good plan doesn't remove responsibility, it clarifies it. And I didn't learn this just from spreadsheets. I learned it through life, through loss and rebuilding, and realizing that control is mostly an illusion. There were seasons where I had very little and seasons where I had more than enough. Peace didn't correlate with either of those. Perspective did. That's actually why I wrote my upcoming book, not about money, but about how we carry weight, how we respond when life doesn't follow the plan, and how faith anchors us when certainty disappears. The book is called Coma to Kilimanjaro. It launches February 1st. It's not a finance book. It is about resilience, purpose, and learning how to stand back up, financially, spiritually, and personally. You'll hear more about it over the coming weeks, but I promise it's written to serve, not sell. So here's the question I want you to sit with. If markets stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would you still feel at peace? If the answer is no, that's not a market problem. That's a clarity problem. And clarity is fixable. If this resonates with you and you want clarity instead of guesswork, book a call, the link's pinned. No pressure, no hype, just a conversation. Thanks for listening. God bless you and your family. Have a good day.